Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about two types of compensation that Healy offers. Healy offers 6 types of compensation, but in this one, we're just going to focus on 2. If you have not watched the introductory video on terminology, I highly recommend you stop and watch that first, because a lot of this is not going to make sense until you understand the basic terminology and what a binary structure looks like. So, assuming you've done that, let's dive into the 2 most common types of compensation, or the 2 ones you're going to be familiar with right away. We'll look at the types 3 to 6 in a different video. So the first 2 types we're going to look at basically are the front end and the back end. So you'll hear that terminology in network marketing. Front end compensation refers to that one-time bonus you get when you first enroll someone. Perhaps considered a retail sale in other terminology. In our company, it's called a direct bonus. Then there's the back-end compensation, which is where residual income comes into play, and that's basically types 2 through 6. So we're going to start out with type 1, which is our direct bonus, and we're going to start in the compensation plan. You can download this compensation plan. You can see what it looks like up at the front. You can download this from your back office. I have it up here for easy reference, and we're going to look at this section 3 where it talks about compensation. Now, the US and the non-US markets do have slightly different compensation plans, and we're going to talk about the difference in the direct bonus. That's really the only difference in the 2 plans. So everything else we talk about is the same, including this. Basically, to receive compensation, you need to be considered active. You can see that right here. Your Healy World member account must be kept active. I'm not going to read this word for word because you can certainly do that. But what this means is that in order to stay active, you need to have 50 PV from either yourself or your customers. So your personal purchases, your personal subscriptions, and those of your customers. Now, not your members. If you're not, customer versus member was discussed under the terminology video, but anything that your customers purchase, or as an initial purchase or a subscription, also counts towards your PV. This is worth noting because it's very unique. It's really cool within Healy that literally, in order to be considered active and to qualify to earn commission, you don't even have to buy anything that month. That is almost unheard of. If one of your customers has bought something, not a member who's in your downline structure, but a customer has met that qualification, you're good to go. So you can see here on this slide that, or on this page of the PDF, that 50 PV is the basic PV to stay active. You can meet this requirement by having the digital nutrition subscription, the digital nutrition app subscription, DNA for short. That is 50 PV. And that's about $95 in US dollars, about 100 euros. But obviously that changes based on, 95 euros, about 100 US. That changes based on, obviously, exchange rates. So, so as you move up in the ranks, and the ranks really come into play when we start looking at bonuses 3 through 6. But as you move up in ranks, you're required to have more PV. So, and what the other point this mentions, which is pretty cool, is that if the PV exceeds 200 points, everything beyond 200 actually gets transferred into your weaker leg and gets paid out in the dual bonus. We'll explain what that means a little bit further on. So let's actually start, now that we understand when you qualify to get paid, by looking at the direct bonus. And this is different in the US versus not in the US. And I'm saying not in the US because it's applicable for every other country that we have so far. We have over 45 countries, I believe, right now. So until the US was launched on May 1st of 2020, we had one compensation plan, and it applied to all the different countries. That compensation plan, the amount that you get paid in direct bonus is based on what you personally have purchased. That is not a legal structure in the US. In the US, they had to shift that. And so in the US, it has its own direct bonus, and what that is based on is what you have sold. So you can see here in this chart that if you sold a Healy Gold, you earn 30% of the PV for that gold. That's why it's important to understand PV terminology. PV for a gold is 250. And we're going to look at a spreadsheet that shows exactly these numbers. But in the comp plan, you can see that this ranges as you get up. If you sell a holistic health, you earn 33. Again, this is US. If you sell a holistic health plus, you earn 36% of that PV, residents 40%, Healy Watch 30. This is all paid out in euros. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up that that document so that this makes a little bit more sense, because otherwise it's just too hard to visualize. So here we go. We're going to look at this right here. Okay, so we're going to look at the US first, and then we're going to move to non-US. And we're actually not going to look at the launch. We're going to look at direct bonus. So this is basically a summary of what the comp plan says. If you sold a gold, you're going to earn 30% of that PV, which is 250, which is 75 euros. Again, everything is based on PV and euros. Today, based on the exchange rate of 1.08, that's $81. If you sold a Healy Holistic Health, you earn 33% of that PV, which is 500. You can see that's 165 euros. That's 178 euros. Or excuse me, 178 US dollars. So you can see that for each model, the Holistic Health Plus, you earn 292 US dollars. If you sell a Resonance, you earn 540 US dollars. If you sell a watch, you earn 49 US dollars. This Fast Start column, Fast Start bonus, will be something we talk about in a different video. But Fast Start, in summary, is what you qualify for your first 30 days after getting your account as a member. You qualify for Fast Start. And during that period, from a direct bonus perspective, you earn an additional $25 for every holistic health sold, 50 for every holistic health plus, and 100 for every Resonance sold. So when you add that up, during your Fast Start period, your first 30 days, you earn 640 US dollars from selling a Resonance. So very, very generous compensation plan that they offer for direct bonus. Now, if we look at the other one here for the US, for the launch period, and the reason I'm going to explain this, even though our launch period has passed, is that this concept applies as we go into every other country. There's always an initial launch period where they offer the ability to purchase the next higher model for the price of the previous model. So in that situation, obviously our commission is reduced because the client, the customer, the member is paying less for their product. So the way that works is that right here, let's just start with the Resonance. Instead of that PV being $12.50, you get the PV of $7.50. Same with the Holistic Health and the Holistic Health Plus. So basically, the PV is reduced to go to the previous model because that's what the person has paid for. But the percentage actually stays the same. So if you look at this chart for a Resonance, instead of earning the 641 during Fast Start, you would earn 424 during Fast Start. Because again, it's based on 40% of the reduced PV in euros, translated to US dollars, converted to US dollars. So the numbers are different. And this chart will be listed further below for easy reference. Okay, so let's look at non-US, and I'm going to pull up their comp plan. Okay, so in their comp plan, when you look at the direct bonus, it actually says, okay, the applied percentage depends upon the Healy product package currently owned by the Healy World member. So in non-US countries, your percentage paid depends upon what you currently own. If you own a gold, you earn 30% of the PV of whatever you sold. And then if you own a Resonance, you earn 40% of the PV of whatever you sold. And note in this case, if you have no package, because again, you are able to make direct bonus without having purchased initially. Again, another amazing thing the company offers, and that's further explained in Fast Start. Then you would earn 8% of whatever the PV is of what was sold. So let's look at that in a little bit easier way on the spreadsheet that I made. Okay, let's pull that back up. There we go. Okay. So if we look at not US, all countries except for the US, then you can see the chart gets a little more complicated, right? Because it matters here on the left what you bought. So you'll see here the same percentages we just saw. Let's say you had bought nothing, you earn 8%. Now we go to what you sold. If you sold a gold, your PV, the PV is 250, 8% of that is 20 euros. If you sold a Healy Holistic Health, we know the PV of that is 500, and so you earn 40 euros. You can tell here, Holistic Health Plus always has a PV of 750, 8% of that is 60, and again, 8% of 1250 is 100 euros. So basically, you just need to look at the one row that applies to you. If you purchased a resonance down at the bottom, this is the only row you need to focus on. So if you sold a resonance, then, excuse me, if you own a resonance and you sold a gold, you're gonna earn 100 euros. And at the end of the chart, the last column, if you own a resonance and you sold a resonance, you're gonna earn 500 euros. Similarly, during fast start, that is reduced. And so you can see here the numbers that, oh, I'm sorry. This is not, I did not do the launch period for this. This is just including fast start because the chart has to be more complicated. During fast start, again, it's the same as in the US where you add 25 euros right here for holistic health, 50 for holistic health plus, 100 for resonance. So the numbers just go up by that appropriate fast start bonus when you're looking at non-USA countries with fast start. You can't put that on the same chart as easily. Okay. So when do we get paid the direct bonus? You get paid weekly on the direct bonus, which is pretty cool. The weeks run from Monday until Sunday night. And then basically about 2 weeks later is when you get paid. It's typically that Wednesday. Sometimes it happens on the Tuesday. So just depending on when you sold it and where that falls in that Monday to Sunday window, you're going to be somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks later is when you're going to receive your direct bonus on that purchase. And yes, there is the right of rescission, the return, the 14-day policy. Note that if someone does return after this period, then that would be subtracted out from your next commission, okay? When shipping times get smaller, this will not be as much of an issue, but for now, it is getting paid out, and then that would be returned, there would be a refund, or you'd owe that back. Basically, it'd be taken out of your next commission if someone did return it. Thankfully, in this company, we have so few returns because we have such an amazing product. So that is the direct bonus. Now we're going to talk about the dual bonus. So if we return to our comp plan PDF and we scroll down to the, move this up here. Okay, we scroll down to the dual bonus. Actually, I want to not show that sidebar so we can see this a little bit easier. Okay. So if we scroll down, you can see they give a more complicated chart in the European comp plan that explains this, but for me, just the way my brain works, the other one was more straightforward. So we're going to talk about the second type of compensation called the dual bonus. Again, in order to qualify for the dual bonus, you need to be active, but there's just like you did with the direct bonus, but there's one more qualification for the dual bonus. And we are going to scroll down right now so you can understand that first. If you scroll down to the ranks section, you will see that there are different ranks that you can achieve within Healy. The first rank is member, and you're automatically a member when you get your account. The second rank is builder. And you can see here that it says, if a member has sponsored at least 2 Healy World members, one on the left and one on the right, and then they have 600 points from the personal sponsor volume, then they are considered a builder. So actually, there's a few slightly different verbiage changes in the US versus the European. Let's go down here. Okay. Okay. Once you reach builder, that's when you are able to qualify for the dual bonus. So that's why we talked about in the first video why it's important to have one person in each leg, because if you don't have one active person in each leg, you don't qualify for this second level of compensation. So let's go back up to talk about the second level of compensation, the dual bonus. So here we have the dual bonus. Dual bonus is 15% of the total point volume of the downline on the weaker leg minus the direct bonus. So here's what that means. Basically, if you look at your left leg and you look at your right leg, in this example, let's say your left leg has 10,000 PV and your right leg has 7,000 PV. You're going to get paid 15% of your right leg, which is 7,000 PV. However, it's important to realize that you've already gotten paid your direct bonus on some of this PV. They are not going to pay you twice on that same PV. So they subtract out from that 7,000, they subtract out, and you can see that on this chart down here, whatever the direct bonus was that was paid out already. So if you look at this cumulative PV on the weaker leg, it says 7,000 for example 1. They'd already paid out the PV for 1,200 of it was already paid out in that direct bonus we talked about. What's left is 5,800, and 15% of that is 870. So you would earn 870 euros. This is the same in the US and in Europe. In the US, we still get paid in euros. So you take the 870 and you would do the conversion to find out the US dollars. They just do in a second example, but it's the same concept. So the points that are showing in your back office currently, and that could change, but currently as of July 21st, 2020, they have already had removed the direct bonus from them. But I'm not, we'll have to see as they make changes to the back office what is showing and what isn't. But if your calculations are not matching up, remember there's two types of totals. There's the total PV on that leg, and then there's the PV that has that direct bonus removed from it. Okay, so it's going to be one of those values that's showing up. All right. Then we're going to talk about what this surplus mean, and this is really cool. Surplus means if you look at the difference between your left leg and your right leg, in this example 1, 10,000 minus 7,000 is 3,000. You actually get to keep that surplus for the next month. It carries over. So yes, you only got paid on your right leg of 7,000, but automatically beginning in your next month, you start out with that extra 3,000 on your left. It just is considered to be there, and it goes right into your volume for that next month, and that is really phenomenal. You get to keep that as long as you are active. So that's why it's really important to stay active each month. Again, currently as of July, that active requirement is being waived, so everyone is considered active right now. You don't have to worry about that, more than likely until the new back office goes in sometime later this year. And again, to stay active, you just need 50 PV, which the digital nutrition app would qualify you to stay active. Okay, so I'm just reviewing my notes to make sure there's nothing else we wanted to talk about that. We are going to go, let's scroll back down to the ranks so that you fully understand this. There is a, let's see, right here. Do you remember how we talked about above, if you did have more than 200 PV, that from yourself or your customer, that automatically gets transferred to your weaker leg. So you do get paid your dual bonus on that. Another really cool feature. And you can see here that there is a weekly cap of 20,000 euros for the dual bonus. Not so bad, 20,000 euros per week. Okay, 80,000 euros a month. I'd be okay with the cap on that. Okay, and let's scroll down some more. one other thing with rank to point out, that again, we just talked about member and builder. If you are active, you qualify for direct bonus. And if you are a builder, you qualify for dual bonus. So remember, if you happen to have a really strong team leg, but you have 0 in your personal leg, you would earn 0 for this particular bonus, okay? Because you get paid 15% of your weaker leg for your dual bonus. Another real life example, let's say that you had 10,000 worth of volume on your team leg and you had 7,000 worth of volume on your personal leg. So you think you're going to get paid on your weaker leg the 7,000. Remember, in order to get paid this, you have to be a builder. And that means you need to have one personally enrolled Healy World member on each side. So make sure you have one person on your team leg and one person on your personal leg, or else you will not get paid that dual bonus. So we're going to move on and do another video that goes deeper into the ranks and into the other types of compensation. Hope this has been helpful.